Beloved chosen one, pause. Heaven has interrupted your scrolling for a reason. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. Everything around you slows because God has chosen this very moment to whisper your name again. You feel that subtle trembling in your spirit, that weight pressing upon your heart, that tug you cannot explain. It is heaven calling you out of ordinary noise into holy purpose. You are not random. You were never meant to blend in. The silence you've endured was never emptiness, it was the quiet before divine instruction. You have felt unseen, unheard, overlooked, but listen. The eyes of heaven have never left you. The same God who formed the galaxies has been watching the small details of your waiting. Every delay was preparation. Every unanswered prayer was building endurance within you. This moment, right now, is the sound of heaven saying, "Rise, chosen one, the call has come again." There are seasons when God hides you, not to forget you, but to prepare you. In hiding, He sharpens your hearing. In stillness, He refines your obedience. You were wondering why doors closed, why people walked away, why opportunities dried up. It was not rejection, it was redirection. You have been in the divine classroom, and now, heaven declares the test begins. Don't move too fast. This message has been timed precisely for you. Every line that reaches your ears carries a piece of divine intent. You are standing at the edge of something eternal. There's a stirring deep in your spirit because your destiny is knocking. You feel the weight of heaven leaning toward you, waiting for your answer. The question resounds, will you obey? The world moves in distractions, but heaven moves in whispers. The ones who hear are not the loudest, they are the ones who listen. And you, chosen one, have been chosen because you still have ears to hear when others only seek noise. You have cried in secret, "God, speak to me." And now He answers, "I am speaking, and I am calling your name." Your calling isn't something you chase, it's something you awaken to. It's already within you, written into your very design. God placed a divine signature on your soul before you ever breathed your first breath. That's why ordinary life could never satisfy you, because you were never meant for ordinary. You were marked for divine disruption. As the prophet once wrote, "There comes a time when the voice of the Lord shakes everything that can be shaken. That time is now." The shaking you feel is not chaos, it is construction. Heaven is rearranging your life to match your calling. The pressure is proof that you are chosen. This is not a random message on your feed, it is heaven's confirmation. You've been asking, "God, give me a sign." Here it is. This is that sign. This is heaven saying, "I hear you, I see you, and I have not forgotten." Now listen, chosen one, do not dismiss this, do not scroll away. Because once God calls your name, accountability follows. You cannot unhear truth. This is your moment to say, "Yes, Lord." And when you say yes, everything begins to align. The angels move, the heavens open, and your story shifts. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4. "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." This is your comfort and your confirmation you are not alone. Every valley you've walked through has been leading to this mountain of revelation. Heaven trusts you with this calling. The fire you survived was not meant to kill you, but to prove what you carry. So right now, if you feel the pull of this message in your spirit, do something prophetic, pause and declare it in faith. Comment the number 707 below as a symbol of divine completion, God's perfect calling over your life. Like, share, and subscribe so that this word continues to echo through the hearts of other chosen ones who are still sleeping. You are not just watching, you are answering. The call has gone forth, and heaven is listening for your reply. You were marked before you were named. Every scar, every detour, every hidden ache has been woven into your divine assignment. Chosen one. Your life is not a collection of random moments, it is a divine manuscript written by the hand of God before the foundation of the world. There is nothing accidental about you. The storm that tried to destroy you was the same storm that revealed your strength. You are marked for purpose. There were nights you cried asking, "Why me?" Heaven's answer was always, "Because I trust you." Not because you were the strongest, not because you were the loudest, but because you were willing. The mark upon your life cannot be erased by betrayal, by failure, or by fear. You have been anointed to stand where others fell, to speak when others went silent, to carry light where others gave up. Every delay you've endured was a teacher. Every no you heard was protecting a greater yes. You thought God was punishing you, but He was preparing you. There is a difference between being delayed and being denied. The waiting room of heaven is where warriors are forged. You have been hidden not because you are forgotten, but because you are sacred. Diamonds are not displayed before they are cut, and oil does not flow until the olive is crushed. You were never overlooked, you were being refined. The mark of the chosen is not comfort, it is resistance. You have felt pressure on every side because your life carries weight in the unseen realm. Hell recognized your potential before you did. That is why you were attacked so early. You have been misunderstood, rejected, and abandoned by those who could not discern your purpose. They saw your pain but not your prophecy. Yet through it all, you did not break. You bent, you bled, but you did not quit. Heaven smiles when you stand through storms meant to drown you. The divine seal over your spirit glows brighter with every trial. You were not called to an easy road, you were called to a meaningful one. The chosen are not spared from fire, they are shaped by it. It is in the heat of testing that your anointing is revealed. When others flee the flame, you walk through it carrying the name of the one who sent you. The evidence of your calling is not applause, it is endurance. You carry something that refuses to die, even when you wish it would. The mark of God burns quietly within you, a holy restlessness that refuses to let you settle for less. The world calls it ambition, but heaven calls it destiny. You are not chasing success, you are following assignment. You are the answered prayer of generations before you. Someone's grandmother prayed for a deliverer to rise from their bloodline, and you are that answer. You stand in the space between promise and fulfillment, bridging what was lost and what is yet to come. Your yes breaks curses, your obedience rewrites history. Heaven has entrusted you with a legacy of victory. You have questioned your worth because of your wounds, but heaven sees them differently. Your scars are not symbols of shame, they are evidence of survival. Every wound that healed became a testimony. Every tear watered the soil of purpose. Every disappointment dug deeper the well from which your anointing now flows. The mark of the chosen cannot be imitated. You can be copied, but you cannot be duplicated. There is a frequency to your faith that cannot be manufactured. When you speak, the atmosphere shifts. When you walk into a room, darkness feels uneasy. That is why some people withdrew. They could not coexist with the light you carry. There will come a day when everything makes sense, when every unanswered question will stand resolved in the light of God's wisdom. But even before that day, you must know you are already chosen, already seen, already loved beyond measure. You don't have to earn His mark, you only have to walk in it. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Hold those words close, chosen one. The same God who marked you has also promised to walk beside you. When fear whispers that you are alone, remember that divine companionship never breaks covenant. You are not walking through uncertainty. You are walking through prophecy being fulfilled in real time. Your life is not delayed, it is divinely timed. The waiting has been working for you. The silence has been speaking louder than noise. Every step you take now is guided by unseen hands. Every breath carries heaven's rhythm. You are stepping into the reason for your existence. You are marked, known, and destined for impact that echoes beyond this lifetime. The darkness around you is not proof of abandonment, it is proof of threat. Chosen one. Hell does not waste its weapons on the average. The warfare you face is not random, it is strategic. You carry light that exposes lies, truth that shakes foundations, and authority that unsettles darkness. You have become a problem to the unseen kingdom that once claimed your silence. You've felt it, the sudden heaviness, the strange opposition that arises when you begin to pray, the way people shift away when you start walking in obedience. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Darkness always reacts to light. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are effective. The enemy recognized your potential long before you did. When you begin to awaken to who you truly are, warfare intensifies. But don't misinterpret the battle. This is not punishment. This is validation. The fire in your life is proof that heaven has invested something priceless in you. You are carrying oil that cannot coexist with compromise. And the more you surrender, the more your spirit glows like a torch in the midnight of this world. The hidden war is real, it is a spiritual conflict fought in unseen places. But though unseen, its evidence touches your emotions, your relationships, even your dreams. You have sensed resistance that makes no logical sense. That is because your fight is not flesh and blood. It is principalities, powers, and spiritual forces that fear what you are becoming. You, chosen one, are awakening into divine authority. When you pray, chains break. When you worship, atmospheres shift. When you speak truth, lies tremble. That is why the enemy tried to silence you early, to make you doubt your power. But the moment you recognize that your warfare is not external but spiritual, you take back control. You stop fighting people and start commanding principalities. You stop crying over rejection and start rejoicing over refinement. You may feel surrounded, but remember, darkness cannot surround light, it flees from it. The enemy cannot touch your destiny. He can only distract your focus. That is his tactic, to make you believe you are losing when heaven says you are advancing. Every obstacle you face is a disguised invitation to prove your strength. Every attack is a classroom for your authority. Lift your head. Chosen one. You have no idea how much of heaven's army stands beside you even now. While you feel pressure, angels are positioned. While you sense fear, heaven releases power. You are not a victim, you are a warrior in divine armor. You are not praying from defeat, but from victory already declared. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 19. They will fight against you, but they shall not prevail against you, for I am with you, declares the Lord, to deliver you. Let that settle in your soul. They will fight, but they will not win. The battle may roar, but it cannot consume you. You are divinely protected, divinely reinforced, divinely appointed to stand when others fall. Your survival is not luck, it is prophecy. Every time the enemy thought you were finished, heaven whispered, "Not yet." There's more to be done. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed by the invisible weight. But even then, remember that power flows best through surrendered vessels. Don't fight the wrong fight. Your goal is not to win arguments or prove your worth. It is to guard your peace, maintain your focus, and carry your assignment with purity. The greatest victory is endurance with faith still intact. Now take a deep breath. You have nothing to fear. You are not in the dark. You are carrying the light that darkness fears. Every test, every delay, every disappointment has only sharpened your discernment. You are learning the strategies of heaven while exposing the tactics of hell. And right now, at this very moment, I want you to make a declaration in the comments, a prophetic act of agreement that shakes the atmosphere. Type these words: light wins. Why? Because it's more than a phrase. It's a reminder to your spirit that no darkness can overtake the one who walks with divine fire. Every time you declare light wins, you remind yourself that the war is already decided. It's not a battle of equals. It's the aftermath of victory. The enemy fights knowing he's defeated, hoping you forget who you are. But your declaration reawakens your authority, aligns your heart with heaven, and silences fear. Say it boldly. Type it clearly. Believe it deeply. Light wins. Because it always has. Because you carry the one who cannot lose, and the same fire that began in you will finish its work through you. Fire is a language that heaven speaks fluently. It purifies, it reveals, it transforms. Chosen one, what you are enduring right now may feel like loss, but it is refinement. The refining fire is not sent to destroy you, it is sent to distinguish you. God is proving what is genuine, separating what is divine from what is temporary. There are moments when everything familiar begins to burn away: the plans you made, the people you trusted, the patterns that once brought comfort. It feels as if your entire world is collapsing, but what is really happening is this: the false layers are melting, and your authentic calling is being uncovered. Gold cannot remain mixed with impurities. The fire separates the two. That is exactly what is happening inside you now. You have asked heaven, why does it hurt this much? The answer comes quietly. Because what I placed in you is too pure to remain surrounded by what is shallow. Pain is the tool that polishes purpose. The ache in your spirit is not the sign of absence. It is the signal that God's hand is still upon you, shaping you for something higher. When God tests you, He is not searching for information, He is revealing identity. The fire does not teach him who you are, it teaches you who you are. You begin to discover that your strength was greater than your fear, that your spirit was stronger than your surroundings. The heat exposes both weakness and endurance. And in that revelation, you are remade. It's not easy, and heaven never said it would be. But what you are facing now is not punishment, it's proof. The more intense the flame, the more precious the material being refined. You are heaven's craftsmanship, and God refuses to allow impurity to define His design. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every heartbreak is being used to extract glory from within you. Fire changes form but never essence. When you walk through it, you emerge different but not diminished. You lose what you were never meant to keep, and you gain what you could not have carried without the burn. The refining fire purges pride, dissolves doubt, and leaves only faith behind. The flesh resists it, but the spirit rejoices in it. You might remember how goldsmiths work. They place raw metal in flame until it glows. Then they wait, not removing it too soon, until they can see their reflection in its surface. That is what God is doing with you. He is waiting until His reflection appears clearly in your life. The heat remains until you mirror His heart. There will be voices around you that tell you to escape the fire, to compromise for comfort. But you know deep within shortcuts sabotage destiny. You cannot carry untested faith into eternal purpose. What you are enduring is sacred training. It is heaven's way of preparing you to hold more glory without collapsing beneath its weight. When you look back one day, you will not remember the pain as much as the transformation it produced. You will see that every season of loss birthed new strength. Every unanswered prayer carved new dependence. Every silent night forged deeper trust. The refining fire does not leave you empty, it leaves you holy. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 5, verse 3-4 declare we rejoice in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. Those words are not poetic comfort, they are divine strategy. You are being built from the inside out. God is shaping a vessel that can carry both power and purity. Every layer of impatience burned away makes room for wisdom. Every ounce of pride consumed by fire gives birth to humility that heaven can trust. You may not understand everything now, but trust this, the one who set the fire also stands inside it with you. Just as he walked with the three in Babylon's furnace, he walks with you now. Flames cannot consume what grace protects. The fire around you only reveals the presence beside you. When the heat rises, whisper to your own soul, I am being refined, not ruined, because when the process is finished, what remains will shine brighter than before. You will look back and recognize that the fire you feared was the fire that freed you. You are standing at the edge of something holy, chosen one. The final test has arrived not to break you, but to reveal you. Every moment leading up to this one has been preparation. Heaven has been whispering through delay, speaking through disappointment, shaping you through silence. Now the question resounds through the Spirit, will you remain faithful when obedience costs you everything familiar? This is the test that separates the chosen from the called. Many are invited, but few endure the refining of surrender. The final test does not appear wrapped in lightning or thunder, it comes quietly, disguised as a choice. It might look like forgiveness when bitterness feels justified. It might look like generosity when resources feel scarce. It might look like trusting again after betrayal. The test is never dramatic in appearance, but always eternal in consequence. God is not asking if you can worship when it's easy. He is asking if you can still raise your hands when it hurts. He is not testing your ability to shout hallelujah in public. He is watching if you can whisper, I still believe, when no one sees. This is the crossroads of destiny where heaven pauses to see if your love is real. There is something sacred about these moments when everything inside you wants to run, yet you stay. When the night grows darker, but your faith grows deeper, heaven leans close to watch what you will choose. Every act of obedience in the dark becomes a flame that lights the way for others. Your endurance becomes someone else's hope. The Word of God declares in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That is the reward of this test, not comfort, but a crown, not applause, but approval from heaven itself. God is preparing to entrust you with influence that can only be carried by those who have passed through fire without losing their purity. The test is proof of trust. But hear this, beloved, passing the test is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Even if you stumble, rise again. Even if you feel unworthy, lift your hands once more. Every small step of obedience is a victory in the eyes of God. The enemy trembles, not when you never fall, but when you refuse to stay down. Sometimes, obedience looks like building an ark when there's no rain, sowing seeds in barren ground, or loving people who don't understand your calling. Heaven never forgets such faith. The test refines not just your faith, but your motives, teaching you to serve without spotlight, to give without expectation, to trust without timeline. And as you listen, if this message stirs something deep inside you, let it move you to respond not out of obligation but out of recognition. When a message ignites your heart, it's because your spirit recognizes its source. You are part of something eternal, and your support, whether by sharing, subscribing, or giving, becomes like pouring oil on the fire, keeping the flame burning for countless others who are still wandering in the dark. Think of it this way: when you share this message, you become a lighthouse keeper, turning your own pain into guidance for someone else's storm. When you subscribe, you're saying, I want to walk this journey with Heaven's remnant. And if you feel led to donate, see it not as charity, but as seed planted into ground that grows faith, hope, and awakening across souls who may never otherwise hear this truth. Every act of generosity, every quiet decision to keep the light shining, becomes part of your testimony. You are helping the message of heaven reach those who have forgotten they are chosen. You are extending the same grace that once reached for you. You are not supporting a person, you are fueling a purpose. This is the vineyard of God, and your obedience is the water that nourishes it. The same God who sees what you give in secret will reward you openly with peace, clarity, and divine favor that no storm can steal. So breathe, chosen one. Stand tall. The test before you is holy. You are not alone in it. Heaven watches with proud silence, knowing you were made for this. When the test ends, the crown awaits. And long after the fire fades, your faith will still be shining. There are moments when the path grows heavy, when exhaustion feels heavier than faith. Chosen one. This is the temptation to quit the silent war between calling and comfort. You've come so far, survived so much, and yet the voice of weariness whispers, stop trying. It is not a random voice, it is the ancient strategy of the enemy to make you give up just before the breakthrough. You must understand, every soul chosen by heaven walks through this valley. Even Jesus in the garden felt the weight of surrender pressing upon him like crushing stone. The closer you are to destiny, the louder the invitation to quit becomes. The darkness will try to convince you that nothing is changing, that your prayers are wasted, that your efforts are unseen. But heaven sees every tear. Every quiet act of faith has been recorded in eternity. You've said to yourself, maybe I've done enough, maybe this is where it ends. But God has not released you. His Spirit still whispers inside, keep going. That whisper is not just encouragement, it is command. Because giving up now would mean walking away from promises you've already paid the price for. The pressure you feel is not the signal to stop, it is the evidence that birth is near. When a seed breaks underground, it feels like dying, but it is actually becoming. The same is true of you. The discomfort you feel is not death, it is transformation. What you are carrying is too sacred to abandon mid-process. You may think the silence means God is left, but silence is often the sound of trust. When a teacher gives a test and they do not speak, they watch. Heaven is watching, not with distance, but with confidence, because God knows what He placed in you is stronger than the storm around you. The Word of God reminds us in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up. There it is, heaven's promise written in eternity. The harvest is guaranteed, but only to those who endure the waiting. Your due season is not a date on a calendar. It is the divine moment when faith matures into fulfillment. That moment is closer than you realize. Every time you feel like quitting, something sacred is actually happening inside you, the death of self-reliance and the birth of divine dependence. God allows exhaustion to remind you that this calling was never meant to be carried in your strength. When you reach the end of yourself, you finally find the beginning of Him. You've been climbing this unseen mountain, sometimes crawling, sometimes running, sometimes just standing still. But hear this: you are higher now than you've ever been. Don't let the fog at the summit make you think you're still in the valley. You are close to the promise, closer than your emotions can perceive. Every great warrior of faith came to this very brink. Elijah sat beneath a tree and begged for death, yet God gave him new strength. Jeremiah wanted to remain silent, yet the word of the Lord burned like fire in his bones. Even Paul said, "We despaired of life itself." You are not weak because you feel tired, you are human. Strength is not the absence of fatigue, it is the decision to keep moving despite it. Heaven is proud of you. You've walked through seasons that would have crushed others, yet you're still here, still believing, still reaching for light. The temptation to quit is only proof that you're fighting something worth finishing. The enemy wouldn't pressure you this hard if he wasn't terrified of what's about to be born from your perseverance. So breathe, lift your chin, and remind your spirit, I will not quit. Because the promise waiting on the other side of obedience is worth every step, every tear, every trial. Now, at this exact moment, while your spirit is still tender and open, make a declaration of faith. Comment the number 4404 below. That number is a prophetic reminder the season of foundation is complete, and stability is being established. Heaven uses it to signify that the structure of your faith is firm enough to carry glory. When you comment 4404, you are saying, I will not give up. My foundation stands. I will finish strong. It is not just a number, it is a covenant, a signal to heaven that you choose persistence over surrender. Chosen one, the fire you carry is not meant to fade, it's meant to endure. You were built for long battles and lasting victories. The same God who started this story will complete it with beauty beyond imagining. So stand. Don't you dare quit now. There are seasons when heaven seems to fall silent, no fresh word, no visible sign, no sudden breakthrough. You pray, and the air feels heavy. You wait, and time stands still. Chosen one. This is one of the hardest tests of faith, when heaven trusts you with silence. You have cried out, God, where are you? And the only reply was stillness. But listen carefully, silence is not absence. It is sacred speech spoken in another language. When heaven grows quiet, it is not because God has turned away, it is because He has already spoken. And now He waits to see if you believe Him without needing constant confirmation. Every relationship built on trust requires moments without words. Love is proven not by how often you hear the voice, but by how faithfully you follow the memory of it. The silence is not punishment. It is proof that heaven considers you mature enough to walk by faith, not by sight. Do you remember the last time you truly heard Him? The word that stirred your heart, the promise that made your spirit tremble, the vision that once seemed impossible but undeniable. He hasn't changed His mind. The silence is not an update, it's a continuation. You are still walking the same divine path, even when it feels invisible. When heaven goes quiet, the enemy grows loud. Doubt begins to whisper. Maybe He forgot you. Maybe the promise expired. Maybe your prayers hit the ceiling. But the truth is this: heaven's silence is not neglect, it's trust. You have reached the stage where faith must become muscle, where hope must anchor deeper than emotion. The desert you walk through now is not a place of abandonment, it's a classroom. In the wilderness, there are no distractions, only the sound of your own heartbeat echoing in eternity. It is there that you learn to recognize God's presence not by feeling but by knowing. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not delay." Those words are oxygen for weary souls. The promise you carry is not denied, it is timed. The vision is not gone, it is ripening. Just as fruit must remain on the tree until the season is right, your destiny must mature before it can be revealed. If God gave it too soon, it would crush you too late, and you'd lose hope. So He waits for the moment when both your heart and your harvest are ready. You are in the waiting room of heaven, and though it feels still, much is happening behind the curtain. Heaven rearranges circumstances, aligns people, opens unseen doors, all in silence. The orchestra of divine timing tunes itself in the quiet, so that when the music begins, everything flows in perfect harmony. You've mistaken stillness for stagnation, but they are not the same. Stagnation means nothing is alive. Stillness means life is preparing. Like a seed buried in the soil, nothing seems to move, but beneath the surface, roots are expanding. Silence is the sound of roots growing deeper. This is where faith learns endurance. When no fresh word comes, you hold on to the last one. When no sign appears, you trust the unseen hand guiding your path. The silence of God is the greatest compliment a believer can receive. It means He trusts you enough to keep walking without proof. You must understand, chosen one, that revelation comes in layers. Sometimes God speaks in thunder, other times in whispers, and sometimes in holy quiet. In that quiet, He is molding your patience, carving your character, deepening your discernment. Every moment of silence shapes you into someone who can handle the next word with wisdom. The ones who survive the silence become carriers of glory. They no longer chase signs. They become signs. They no longer demand answers. They live as proof that God is faithful even when unseen. Heaven's silence produces those who walk with unshakable calm, people who know that even in stillness, the throne has not moved. So when the night grows wordless and your prayers echo back, do not panic. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Heaven's quiet is not empty, it is full of divine activity. One day soon, the silence will break, and when it does, you will realize the waiting was never wasted. It was preparation for revelation. The closer you come to destiny, the more deception surrounds you. Chosen one. This is the hour of discernment. The battlefield has shifted from open attacks to subtle illusions. What once came as obvious darkness now appears as light. The danger is no longer in what opposes you, but in what imitates truth. This is the season where you must unmask the counterfeit. The enemy knows he cannot destroy the chosen, so he distracts them. He doesn't come with horns and shadows. He comes as opportunity, as false peace, as voices that sound divine but pull you away from obedience. You must test everything not with fear, but with wisdom. Not every open door is God's door. Some are traps disguised as favor, shortcuts painted as blessings. Discernment is not suspicion, it is spiritual clarity. It allows you to sense the difference between what flatters your flesh and what feeds your spirit. Sometimes the counterfeit looks exactly like the promise, but it carries no life. It promises ease without endurance, reward without righteousness, promotion without process. You can recognize it by this simple truth: what is of God draws you closer to holiness. What is not draws you closer to self. You have met people who spoke with light but carried darkness. You have encountered ideas that felt comfortable but slowly drained your strength. These are the subtle seductions of the counterfeit, gentle enough to seem safe, deadly enough to steal focus. The enemy doesn't need to turn you into a rebel, he only needs to make you distracted. A distracted chosen one is as ineffective as a defeated one. The Spirit whispered this long ago: deception will come dressed as revelation. And it has. False prophets speak smooth words that feed emotions but not souls. False friendships offer comfort while quietly dismantling purpose. False callings promise freedom while chaining you to self-importance. You have seen them, you've even felt their pull, but something inside you hesitated. That hesitation was the Holy Spirit guarding your spirit. You must remember, chosen one, that not every peaceful path is safe, and not every storm is dangerous. Sometimes, God hides protection inside discomfort and hides danger inside peace. That is why you must listen deeper than emotion. Truth is not always pleasant, and deception is not always painful. Only intimacy with God can teach you the difference. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 15 to 16. Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. These words are not a warning for others, they are a shield for you. Look at the fruit. Does it bring peace or confusion? Does it birth humility or pride? Does it draw you toward purity or toward compromise? Fruit never lies. You can hide motives behind charisma, but time will always reveal truth. The counterfeit thrives where discernment is lazy. That is why you must keep your spirit sharp through prayer and humility. The humble heart cannot be easily deceived, because it listens more than it speaks. Pride blinds, but humility sees. If you remain teachable before God, even the most cunning deception will stumble at your feet. You have been given spiritual radar, a sensitivity that alerts you when something sounds right but feels wrong. Do not ignore it, that uneasy stirring in your chest, that sudden lack of peace, that quiet whisper saying, "This isn't it." Those are warnings, divine alarms. The Spirit speaks gently, but His signals are precise. There will be moments when you must walk away from what looks perfect. You will have to say no to opportunities others dream of, because your spirit knows what your eyes cannot see. That is not loss. That is loyalty. Loyalty to the voice that called you, not the voices that applaud you. Discernment is what keeps the chosen from being devoured. It is the lamp that lights the narrow path when others walk into darkness believing it's day. You have that lamp within you. Use it. Guard it. Let it expose every imitation that dares to approach your purpose. In this season, you will see masks fall. People, plans, and even dreams that once seemed right will reveal their true nature. Do not fear the unveiling, it is mercy. God exposes not to embarrass but to protect. He reveals so you can move forward unbound. And when everything false has been stripped away, what remains will be truth, and truth is the soil where destiny takes root. So let the false fall away, chosen one. Let what cannot endure depart, because when deception dies, discernment thrives, and in that clarity your next divine instruction awaits. Obedience, this is the weight that heaven measures. Not gifts, not talent, not charisma, but obedience. Chosen one. You are standing at the gate of something sacred, and that gate opens only to those who will say yes even when the cost is high. This is the moment where comfort and calling collide, and you must choose which kingdom you serve. Obedience rarely looks glorious. It often looks like walking away from what everyone else applauds. It looks like surrendering control when your flesh screams for proof. It looks like trusting God's whisper over the world's certainty. True obedience is never convenient, it is consecrated. It asks for everything and promises only this, that God will be with you. You've felt the tug before the instruction that made no sense. The nudge to let go. The command to forgive when pride wanted revenge. Those were not random moments. They were divine training sessions. Heaven teaches obedience one command at a time. Each yes you give becomes a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Each no to compromise becomes a wall of protection around your anointing. You must remember, obedience is not just action, it is alignment. God isn't after your performance, He's after your posture. You can do the right thing with the wrong heart and still miss the point. What heaven desires is trust, the kind of trust that believes even when it cannot trace, that moves even when it cannot see. There is a kind of obedience that changes atmospheres. When you say yes in faith, creation responds, angels move, mountains shift, chains that bound generations begin to break. Your obedience doesn't just bless you, it liberates others. Somewhere, someone's deliverance depends on your decision to obey. We find in the book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 13, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose." This is the secret of the chosen God never asks you to do something without first empowering you to do it. The strength to obey does not come from you, it flows through you. When He commands, He also provides the courage. When He directs, He also sustains. You are not being asked to climb the mountain alone. Heaven is climbing within you. Still, obedience feels heavy because it touches what we love most, control. We want to understand before we surrender, to calculate before we commit. But faith doesn't require clarity, it requires confidence in God's character. The question is not, can I see where this leads, but do I trust who's leading me? The more you obey, the lighter the burden becomes, because obedience unlocks peace. Resistance drains you, surrender frees you. The moment you yield, the war within quiets, and the presence of God fills the space where doubt once lived. There will come a time when God's instruction will test your loyalty. He will ask you to lay something down, not to take it from you, but to show you that He is greater than whatever you fear to lose. Every altar built in obedience becomes a doorway to greater glory. And now, chosen one, if this message echoes inside you, I invite you to make a declaration of surrender. Type these words in the comments, "I will obey." Say it as a vow, not a slogan. Because when you declare "I will obey," you are not promising perfection, you are announcing intention. You are aligning your voice with heaven's purpose. That small act of confession creates spiritual agreement, releasing strength you didn't know you had. It's not about impressing God, it's about inviting Him deeper into your will. Let your comment be your covenant. Let your yes be your weapon. For in this final stretch of the journey, obedience is not just your test, it is your victory. The greatest battle is never the one around you, it is the one within you. Chosen one, the enemy outside can wound, but the enemy inside can destroy. This is the inner war between faith and fear, surrender and control, flesh and spirit. Every time you feel torn in two, it is not confusion, it is transformation. You are being remade from the inside out. Inside you live two voices, one whispers peace, the other shouts panic. One says God is faithful, the other insists you're on your own. This is the battlefield of the heart, where eternity and emotion collide. You may not see swords or smoke, but every thought is a weapon, every decision a doorway. You are not weak for wrestling, you are human in the hands of the divine. This war is sacred because it refines your allegiance. God doesn't just want your worship when things are clear. He wants your trust when everything shakes. The battlefield inside you is the ground where true faith is born. Every doubt that you surrender becomes a seed that grows into conviction. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4-5. The weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to demolish strongholds. We take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. That is where victory begins, not outside, but within. When you bring every thought under the rule of Christ, the chaos loses its power. The storm outside may still rage, but peace becomes your fortress. You begin to realize that the battle is not about winning arguments or proving worth. It's about mastering the inner world that shapes every outward reality. Think of your soul like a garden. Fear is the weed. Faith is the seed. Both compete for the same soil, your attention. Whatever you water grows. When you rehearse worry, fear multiplies. When you meditate on God's word, faith blossoms. The soil of your spirit is fertile, and you hold the watering can. And yet, even warriors grow weary. That's why heaven sends words like this to remind you that you're not fighting alone. Every like, every share, every moment you help this message reach another weary soul, you are joining a collective army of light. You're passing torches through the darkness, helping someone else find their way back to hope. When you subscribe, it's more than clicking a button. It's saying, I'm standing among the chosen. When you share, it's like throwing a rope into stormy waters, pulling another drowning soul towards safety. And if you feel led to donate, do it not as transaction but transformation. Your giving is like oil poured into the lamp, keeping the flame alive for others walking through their night. Every small act of generosity ripples across eternity. You might never meet the person whose faith is restored because this message reached them, but heaven will record your part in it. That's how divine partnership works. Some sow, some water. God gives the growth. Inside you, the battle still rages. But let this truth settle deep. You are already armed for victory. Every time you choose peace over panic, prayer over complaining, hope over despair, you strike a blow against the enemy within. The battlefield may be invisible, but the results are eternal. So breathe again. Straighten your shoulders. You are not losing your mind, you are gaining mastery over it. The world around you may tremble, but your inner sanctuary stands unshaken, because the King of Peace reigns there. Keep the garden tended, the weapons sharpened, and the lamp burning. And as you walk forward, remember you are not fighting alone. You are part of a divine network of chosen hearts, scattered across the earth, linked by purpose and faith. Together, through words, acts, and seeds sown in love, we keep heaven's fire alive. When the night seems longest, help is already on the way. Chosen one, you have never fought alone. Though you cannot always see it, the realm of heaven is not silent, it is active, moving, surrounding, and protecting you. Angels have been assigned to your life since the moment God spoke your name into existence. They do not announce themselves with trumpets or visible wings, yet their presence fills the edges of every miracle you've ever experienced. You have walked through danger that never touched you, storms that should have swallowed you, and temptations that could have destroyed you, but somehow, you're still standing. That somehow has always been divine assistance. When the odds were impossible, invisible hands steadied your path. When your spirit broke, unseen strength lifted you up. You are still here because heaven refused to let you fall beyond recovery. There are times when you feel utterly surrounded by darkness, yet even then, light stands closer than breath. You may not notice the movements of the angels, but they are watching, guarding the doorway of your destiny, fighting for you in realms you will never comprehend. You sense them in the quiet, in the sudden peace that makes no sense, in the gentle protection that defies logic. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That promise still holds. The stillness is not surrender, it's trust. To be still in battle is to understand that heaven has already drawn its sword. Your calm is your weapon. Your peace is your armor. When you refuse to panic, you declare that the unseen army surrounding you is greater than anything standing against you. The angels on assignment to your life are not random spirits, they are specialized messengers. Some guard, some guide, some deliver strength when your heart can no longer carry the weight. They are heaven's soldiers, and their allegiance is to the one who chose you. You are protected not by luck, but by order, divine order. There have been moments when you felt something tell you to wait a second before stepping forward, or to turn right instead of left. That was not coincidence. It was intervention. Every narrow escape, every small delay that frustrated you, was a shield in disguise. Heaven often hides protection inside inconvenience. Sometimes the greatest evidence of divine help is not in what happens, but in what doesn't. You will never know all the traps you avoided, the accidents diverted, the battles already won while you were asleep. The spiritual realm moves silently but powerfully. While you worry, heaven works. You are surrounded, chosen one, surrounded not by fear but by favor. The angels assigned to you do not grow tired. They are strengthened by your faith. When you speak words of belief, they move faster. When you worship instead of worry, they draw their swords. Your alignment with heaven empowers their assignment on earth. You are not fragile, you are fortified. You do not walk through this life as a target, but as a temple. The divine presence within you radiates authority that darkness cannot cross. Even when the enemy approaches, he finds that the perimeter is guarded by light itself. Remember the story of Elisha's servant, who trembled at the sight of armies surrounding them, until Elisha prayed for his eyes to open. Suddenly, the servant saw the mountains filled with horses and chariots of fire. That same reality surrounds you now. If your spiritual eyes could see, you would stop fearing and start thanking. There is more on your side than against you. The night may seem thick, but angels walk through it like dawn. They move on command, sent forth by the prayers you thought went unanswered. Your whispered faith has summoned reinforcement you don't yet perceive. So hold your ground. Chosen one, you are not abandoned. You are defended. Heaven has not forgotten you, it has surrounded you. The battle you fear is already being won in silence. The unseen hands of mercy are still at work, guiding you toward victory written before time began. There comes a point, chosen one, when destiny demands a decision. You cannot carry both the crown of heaven and the approval of the world. This is the hour when the lines are drawn not between success and failure, but between allegiance and compromise. The time has come for you to choose your crown. Every chosen one faces this crossroad. It may not arrive with thunder or spotlight, it comes quietly, through small decisions that test your loyalty. Will you obey when obedience isolates you? Will you stand for truth when lies promise comfort? Will you choose the eternal when the temporary looks easier? Heaven waits for your answer, not because God doubts you, but because this choice shapes your authority. The path of glory often feels like loss at first. You will watch others rise quickly while you move slowly. Others get praised while you stay hidden. But crowns forged in silence outlast thrones built in noise. The true crown is not gold, it is endurance. It is faithfulness when applause fades. The ancient words recorded in Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11 speak with fire, hold fast what you have, that no one may take your crown. That warning carries both promise and weight. It means there is something in you so valuable that heaven calls it a crown. It means what you've carried through storms is not decoration, it's destiny. But it also means crowns can be lost, not because God takes them away, but because we trade them for things that fade. You've seen how easily people exchange purpose for popularity, anointing for acceptance, authenticity for applause. The temptation is subtle. You start wanting to be liked more than you want to be chosen. You start chasing platforms instead of presence. But the moment you do, your crown begins to slip. The world will offer you imitation crowns, shiny but shallow. They will sparkle on screens but shatter under pressure. Heaven's crown, however, cannot be bought, copied, or corrupted. It is invisible to the proud, radiant to the humble. It is made of obedience, sacrifice, and scars turned into songs. Choosing your crown means embracing loneliness for a season. It means walking through doors others are too fearful to enter. It means trusting that recognition delayed is not recognition denied. The one who crowns in secret will reward in public. Heaven never forgets loyalty. But here is the truth: the higher the calling, the narrower the path. You cannot wear a crown while carrying everything that used to define you. Old habits, old fears, old attachments, they weigh too much for a royal head. Every time God asks you to release something, it's not loss, it's preparation for coronation. You are not being stripped of comfort. You are being fitted for glory. Every act of surrender is a polishing of the crown. Every yes you whisper when it hurts becomes another jewel placed upon it. When the time is right, heaven will lift your head not because you demanded it, but because you endured with grace. There will be those who misunderstand your choices, who call your obedience pride or your boundaries arrogance. Do not waste energy defending what heaven has already approved. Let your fruit speak. The same people who question you now will one day witness what endurance births. So stand firm, chosen one. Hold fast. Let nothing steal your focus, not distraction, not discouragement, not delay. You have come too far to let go now. The crown prepared for you carries your name. No one else can wear it. And now, at this sacred moment, make a declaration of allegiance not to man, not to fame, but to heaven. Comment the number 222 below. This number is a sign of divine alignment and covenant. It represents the pairing of heaven's will with your obedience, the agreement between purpose and persistence. When you type 222, you are not just engaging, you are declaring, I choose my crown. I choose to stay aligned with heaven's order, no matter the cost. That small act of faith echoes far beyond the screen. It becomes a spiritual signature written across eternity, a sign that one of God's chosen has chosen back. Lift your head, royal one. Your crown is closer than you think. The tests you've endured were never meant to break you. They were meant to prove you fit to wear glory. Hold fast, guard the promise, and walk as one already crowned. There comes a breaking point in every divine journey, the moment when your strength runs out. Your prayers turn to whispers, and your heart feels like it cannot carry another weight. Chosen one, you have reached that sacred threshold where endurance ends and grace begins. The breaking point is not your defeat, it is heaven's doorway. You have been strong for so long, holding everything together while silently unraveling inside. You've encouraged others while your own spirit trembled. You've smiled through pain, served through exhaustion, believed while feeling forgotten. And now, something inside you aches, wondering if God still remembers. The breaking point exposes every hidden fracture, every unanswered question, every suppressed tear, but it also becomes the place where God does his deepest work. The world teaches you to fear breaking, but heaven celebrates it, because only when the vessel cracks can the oil flow freely. You were never designed to be unbreakable, you were designed to be available. And sometimes, the breaking is the very thing that releases what God placed in you from the beginning. You see, God does not waste pain. He transforms it. Every broken piece becomes material for his masterpiece. The shattering of your plans is not tragedy, it is divine rearrangement. He breaks what no longer fits so that what is eternal can be revealed. When you reach the end of yourself, you finally reach the beginning of him. The psalmist wrote it beautifully in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Those words are not metaphor, they are reality. When your heart cracks, God draws near. When your spirit feels crushed, heaven leans close. You are never more held than when you feel most undone. The breaking point becomes the meeting place between your weakness and his strength. Do you remember the alabaster jar? It had to be broken before the fragrance filled the room. That story was never about waste, it was about release. The same is true of you. The fragrance of your anointing cannot fill the earth until life as you knew it has been cracked open. Every trial, every heartbreak, every moment you thought would end you has been pressing the oil out of you, and that oil is what heals others. Pain has a strange way of uncovering purity. When the applause fades and the plans fall apart, what remains is the real you, the part of you that still believes, still prays, still clings to hope even when your hands are trembling. That is the version of you God anoints. That is the vessel he uses. The breaking point teaches surrender. It reminds you that power does not come from pretending to be invincible. It comes from admitting your dependence. Heaven moves most powerfully when your pride has nothing left to defend. In that naked honesty, faith ceases to be performance and becomes presence. Sometimes God allows what you trusted to collapse so that your trust returns to him. It is mercy, not malice. He will let your strength fail, your plans unravel, your certainty crumble just so you can discover that his hands were holding everything all along. What you call falling apart, heaven calls falling into place. Do not despise this moment. Chosen one, the tears you cry now are sacred water softening the soil for a new beginning. The ground may feel shattered beneath you, but from this broken soil will grow the most radiant garden of your life. Every seed that dies here will rise transformed. Your breaking point is not your burial ground, it is your birthing room. The labor pains are proof that new life is near. Hold steady through the shaking. Soon the light will break through the cracks. When you rise from this, you will not rise the same. You will carry wisdom that cannot be taught, compassion that cannot be faked, and power that cannot be stolen. What broke you will become what builds you. The night that nearly ended, you will be the reason someone else survives their own. So let it break, let it pour. Let the oil flow freely, because from your breaking, heaven is birthing something eternal. There are moments when the storm that once terrified you begins to make sense, not because it grows smaller, but because your vision grows clearer. Chosen one, you are stepping into revelation. The storm that once looked like chaos is becoming your classroom. What was meant to scatter you has become the very wind that lifts you higher. Revelation rarely arrives in calm weather. It's birthed in noise, lightning, and uncertainty. When everything familiar falls apart, heaven begins to unveil what has been hidden in plain sight. The storm strips away illusions until only truth remains. It removes distractions, forcing you to focus on what cannot be shaken. And in that clarity, you see not just what you've lost, but what God has been building all along. At first, you begged for the storm to stop. You prayed for peace, for answers, for relief. But heaven remained silent, because the purpose was not to rescue you from the storm, it was to reveal Him within it. Every drop of rain carried a message. Every gust of wind whispered instruction. You thought God had left, but He was speaking through the thunder, reshaping your spirit through every wave. When you look back, you'll realize that the storm was never your enemy, it was your escort into destiny. The same force that seemed to destroy your plans was actually dismantling everything too small for your purpose. You were asking for comfort, but heaven was making room for calling. The shaking did not remove stability, it removed everything that pretended to be stable but wasn't. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 26, "Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?" Then He rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Those words reveal something deeper than miracle, they reveal perspective. Before Jesus calmed the storm around them, He confronted the storm within them. Fear always rages louder inside before it manifests outside. Once faith replaces fear, calm becomes inevitable. The winds obey not because of volume, but because of authority that grows in those who refuse to bow to panic. That is what the storm has been teaching you, divine authority. The kind that cannot be learned in safety, only forged in pressure. Every roar of thunder has been calling you into maturity. Every wave that threatened to drown you was secretly training you to walk on water. Heaven never wastes storms. They are heaven's laboratories for producing leaders who cannot be shaken. The storm revealed the truth about others too. Some who claimed loyalty disappeared when the waves rose. Others who stayed revealed hearts anchored in love. Both were revelations, gifts in disguise. The storm separated the genuine from the temporary, not to wound you, but to protect you from building your future on unreliable foundations. It also revealed something about you. You are stronger than you believed, braver than you realized. The same you who once trembled now stands steady in wind that would have crushed your past self. You learned that peace is not found in the absence of storms, but in the presence of God within them. Storms are translators. They take what you could not understand in calm and make it undeniable in chaos. You prayed for understanding, but God sent a storm to show, not to tell. Revelation is not always comfortable. It dismantles assumptions, challenges comfort zones, and tears veils from your eyes. But it also births wisdom, clarity, and divine confidence. This is why some storms repeat until you finally see what heaven is showing. The lesson remains until revelation is received. Once you understand the message behind the wind loses its power. What once frightened you now empowers you. You begin to recognize patterns of divine training in what you used to call tragedy. So look again at the storm, not with fear, but with curiosity. What is God revealing through it? What truth is He engraving into your spirit while thunder fills the air? Every storm holds a scripture. Every wave hides a whisper. The answer is there, written not in ink, but in experience. When this storm passes, and it will, you'll realize it was not meant to destroy, but to deliver. You'll walk out of it with vision refined, faith renewed, and wisdom unshakable. The storm that once blinded you will become the story that defines you. And every drop of rain that fell will glisten as evidence that heaven never abandoned you. It was speaking through the storm all along. There is a sacred shift that happens after the storm when what once tried to break you becomes the very thing that builds you. Chosen one. This is your moment of reversal. The balance of power is changing hands. What the enemy meant for destruction, heaven is now transforming into your weapon. You are not merely surviving anymore, you are rising with authority forged in adversity. When you stood in the fire, you thought it would consume you, but it purified you instead. Now you emerge like steel from the furnace, shaped and strengthened. Every wound has become wisdom, every scar a reminder that grace does not fail. You carry power not from pride, but from perseverance. The ashes beneath your feet are not graves, they are altars. You did not lose in the fire, you were crowned in it. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20 declares, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." That is the story of every chosen one, redemption born from ruin. You now hold authority in the very places you once bled. The darkness you survived has become afraid of you, because you learned its language only to silence it with truth. Every failure that once mocked you now bows to your endurance. You walk through the ruins with a crown of understanding and a sword of peace. But this reversal is not only for you, it's for those still lost in their own storm. Heaven doesn't raise chosen ones to hoard victory. It raises them to serve. You are called to be a torchbearer, someone who turns around and lights the path for others still stumbling through darkness. The world is desperate for that kind of light, authentic, humble, battle-tested light. And this is where the call extends beyond words. Every like, every share, every subscription, every act of generosity, these are not just actions, they are echoes of light. When you share this message, you are casting a rope into the storm for someone who no longer believes they can make it out. When you subscribe, you are choosing to stay connected to the flow of truth that sustains weary hearts. And when you donate, you are placing oil in a lantern that continues to burn through the night for countless unseen souls. Think of it as planting trees in a field you may never walk through. Your support becomes shade for someone else's journey. Your giving becomes bread for a hungry spirit. The kingdom of God multiplies not through noise, but through compassion carried in simple acts of faith. You may never know who was saved by your obedience, but heaven knows. Even your comment matters more than you think. When you write your reflections or share how this message reached you, it becomes a testimony. Someone scrolling through shadows might read your words and find the courage to breathe again. Never underestimate the power of written faith. It's like sending sparks into the dark, where they might ignite another heart. You are part of a divine ripple, chosen one. The sea you once drowned in is now the water you walk upon, and each step you take leaves hope behind. Heaven uses the willing, not the perfect, to keep light moving forward. When you engage with this message, you're not helping a platform, you're joining a movement. There's something holy about being part of someone else's miracle. When you share, subscribe, or give, you're not giving to a message, you're giving through it. Letting heaven use your small action as a vessel of deliverance. The same angels that fought for you go forth to fight for others through your obedience. You've come through fire and flood, but now you stand crowned in clarity. You are no longer the wounded, you are the warrior. No longer the pursued, you are the pillar. What once drained your strength now fuels your anointing. The season of reversal has begun, and everything the enemy took will be returned sevenfold in peace, purpose, and power. Let your life speak that truth loudly through action, through generosity, through presence. The crown you wear now is not decoration. It is declaration: I survived. I am chosen. I will serve. So stand tall, warrior of light, you have overcome, not to boast, but to bless. Let your light go forth not through pride, but through participation. Like share, write, give whatever heaven stirs within you, because what started as your battle has now become someone else's breakthrough. There is a quiet solemnity in this moment, a sacred stillness that follows victory. Chosen one, you have crossed through fire and shadow, and heaven now whispers a single word: go. You have been tested, refined, and revealed, and now the mantle of your calling rests upon your shoulders. This is the commissioning. It is not a ceremony of crowds or applause. It happens in silence, when your spirit finally aligns with heaven's rhythm. The commissioning of God is not about recognition, it is about readiness. When He sends with authority. When He chooses, He also equips. You are being released now, not because the battle ended, but because you have been shaped to lead in its midst. All those nights of struggle, all those prayers you thought went unanswered, they were not wasted. They were deposits of power. Each tear has become oil for your anointing. You do not step forward empty-handed. You carry unseen weapons, sharpened by trial, tempered by obedience. Heaven does not send untrained warriors, it sends proven ones. In the ancient text, the prophet Isaiah recorded the words of commissioning in chapter 6 verse 8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, send me." That cry, "Here am I," is the heartbeat of every chosen soul. It is not the sound of confidence, it is the sound of surrender. God is not looking for those who think they are ready, but for those who are willing to rely on Him. Readiness in heaven's language does not mean perfection, it means availability. You are being sent now into a world desperate for authenticity. This generation does not need more noise, it needs voices of clarity. It does not need more religion, it needs presence, people who carry God's essence wherever they go. You have walked through enough pain to speak comfort with authority, through enough silence to guide others through doubt, through enough loss to understand compassion. Every scar you bear is a credential of empathy. Your mission will not always be glamorous. Sometimes it will look like comforting one broken soul in a quiet corner. Sometimes it will look like speaking truth that costs you acceptance. Sometimes it will simply be living faithfully when no one notices. But do not mistake simplicity for insignificance. Heaven measures impact by obedience, not audience. You are heaven's ambassador now, a carrier of divine fragrance in a world accustomed to decay. Wherever you step, light enters. Wherever you speak, truth pierces. Your presence itself becomes a sermon. Your peace becomes a prophecy. This is what it means to be commissioned, not merely to go, but to carry. You are not representing yourself. You are representing the King who sent you. The mantle resting on you feels weighty because it carries generations of prayers, unfulfilled promises, and heavenly assignments converging in your obedience. The calling you hold is not new, it is ancient, passed from one faithful heart to another across centuries. The prophets walked with it, the apostles bled for it, and now heaven places it in your hands. Do not shrink back in fear. The same Spirit that sustained them sustains you. The power that parted seas and raised the dead is the same power breathing through your lungs right now. You were not called to imitate their journey, you were called to continue it. You will face resistance, but resistance only proves relevance. The enemy fights what he fears. Remember, you are sent as a light, and light only shines brightest in darkness. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to burn. Every word you speak with purity, every act of mercy, every decision made in love, it all pushes back the shadows one step at a time. Do not look for applause, look for alignment. Do not seek validation, seek vision. Your assignment will sometimes take you into wilderness again. But this time, you will walk through it with authority. You know the language of storms now. You've seen the faithfulness of God in the furnace. You carry peace where chaos used to live. This commissioning is both an ending and a beginning. The tests are behind you. The testimony begins now. Heaven does not retire its warriors, it redeploys them. You are the evidence that God still speaks, still chooses, still sends. So step forward. Chosen one. The world may not recognize your crown, but the heavens do. You are heaven's ambassador, carrying the mark, the message, and the mantle. Go forth in quiet confidence, clothed in humility and fire, for what began in suffering now moves in power. This is the hour when all things converge, the journey, the tests, the silences, the storms, the moments of breaking and becoming. Chosen one. You have reached the threshold between time and eternity. The final chapter is not merely an ending, it is revelation fulfilled. This is the glory and the reckoning. Heaven stands watching. Every step that brought you here was divinely counted. Every tear a seed sown in sacred soil. You were never walking in circles, you were walking in cycles, each one drawing you deeper into divine maturity. And now, the cycle closes. Not in defeat, but in fulfillment. You have become the evidence of God's faithfulness. There is a holiness to this moment. The air feels charged, as if creation itself holds its breath. The light around you shifts. It is no longer the soft glow of testing, but the radiance of revelation. You can sense it. Heaven is near, not distant. Not abstract, but tangible, thick with presence. The same voice that called you from obscurity now calls you homeward into purpose completed. This is the moment when the faithful are separated from the distracted, the devoted from the drifting. The reckoning is not punishment, it is unveiling. It reveals where hearts truly stood when the world was shaking. Some will realize too late that compromise costs crowns. But those who endured, who refuse to bow to comfort or fear, will step into glory that cannot be described in mortal language. We are reminded through the writings of Paul in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7 to 8. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. These are not words of sorrow, they are victory. This is what heaven has been preparing you for. Every hardship was training for endurance. Every silence was shaping for discernment. Every loss was clearing space for eternal reward. You have fought the good fight, not with weapons of men, but with the unbreakable faith of one who refused to surrender hope. Glory is not distant. It has already begun to bloom within you. It glows in your peace, shines in your compassion, and burns in your resilience. Heaven's light doesn't wait for eternity. It begins the moment you decide to live as if eternity is real. You have become a living flame, proof that divine purpose can inhabit human fragility. But the reckoning also brings clarity. It exposes what cannot remain. Anything built on pride will crumble. Anything rooted in fear will wither. Anything born from disobedience will dissolve in the brightness of truth. Yet what is born of God will endure, unshaken. This is why you were tested, to ensure that your faith would stand when the winds of revelation blow. You will see reversals now, not of chance but of justice. The first shall be last. The hidden shall be revealed, and the faithful shall be honored. God wastes nothing. He restores in multiplied measure every forgotten season, Every unseen act of obedience, every silent prayer, he remembers them all. There will be awe in this final unveiling, a radiant weight of glory pressing against your spirit until words fail. You will understand then that the struggle was never about survival. It was about transformation. The wilderness was not punishment. It was passage. The silence was not neglect, it was instruction. The breaking was not ending, it was beginning. You are the evidence of that truth. You stand as one who walked through darkness and carried light back out. You bear heaven's fingerprints on your life. The story written in pain is now rewritten in purpose. And as the final veil lifts, you will see what faith always whispered, that every step was leading here, to the unveiling of glory. So breathe, chosen one. The journey has not been in vain. The reckoning is not fear, it is fulfillment. The crown is not distant, it is already upon you. You have finished the race not as one defeated, but as one transformed into the image of the one who sent you. The heavens rejoice, the earth watches, and eternity opens wide its doors. This is your moment, your completion, your coronation, your return to the one who chose you before time began. And now, beloved chosen one, we arrive at the quiet after the storm, the place where the echoes of heaven still hum softly in your chest. You've walked through revelation, through fire, through silence and surrender. What remains now is not uncertainty, but awe. You have seen the pattern of divine hands weaving every moment together. You have learned that nothing was wasted, and everything was preparing you for this peace. Let this be the breath between battles. Look back with gratitude, not regret. Look forward with trust, not fear. The same God who carried you through every test still walks beside you, whispering, "Keep shining." You are not ending, you are continuing. Now as one who knows who they are and whom they serve. And if these words have stirred something deep within you, if they reminded you of your worth, your purpose, your divine identity, then let your heart respond in gratitude. When you like or share, it isn't about algorithms. It's about keeping the message of light alive, allowing it to reach one more soul who needs this same reminder. When you subscribe, you're not joining a channel, you're joining a family of faith, a circle of chosen ones walking this narrow road together. And when you comment, let your words carry meaning. Tell what spoke to you, what you felt, what part awakened your spirit. Your voice might become the very confirmation someone else prayed for tonight. This is how heaven's ripple continues, not through grand gestures, but through faithful hearts choosing to pass the flame onward. You are the torchbearer now, the living echo of divine love in a weary world. Keep the flame burning, stay connected, so keep walking as light.